Yet another unboxing. So I got my Fire TV stick this week and I wanted to show you guys what this is about. So in my mind, it's very similar to the Chromecast, which I love. It's a teeny little stick that you plug in to your TV. Ooh, but this one comes with a remote, and the Chromecast does not. You use your phone, and I believe there is an app for this also that you can use your phone with, but it's just a teeny little plug that you plug into your HDMI port on your TV or monitor, and it lets you get kind of all of your streaming channels, your Netflix and Flickster and Hulu Plus and YouTube and all those kind of things. And don't forget, Amazon Prime. I am using this one in our playroom because my kiddos have this monitor here. We don't have an actual TV. We got this monitor at the Goodwill, and it was something like 20 bucks, but it doesn't have a tuner, so they can't watch TV on it. I'm going to spin this thingy around, and you will see that I have a big nice mess back here. My kids have an old school PlayStation 2 and it doesn't get any of this kind of stuff, which is another reason why this is nice. We have up underneath there, got this HDMI, and I only have one HDMI here, so I would need a splitter if I was going to use multiple devices in this, but right now I don't. And fortunately this seems to just barely fit. Let's see if that'll focus. It seems to barely fit. If it were any longer, I wouldn't be able to get it in there. There we go. There we go. So it went in just barely. There's maybe like a fingernail's width of space back there. So now I'm going to turn the TV on. This TV also doesn't have a remote. So I'll turn that on, and I need to make sure that I put it to the correct input, which obviously is going to be the HDMI. Alright, so let's see what happens. This is literally actually the first time I plugged that in. Now something else I noticed about that as opposed to the Chromecast requires a USB cord to power it. This didn't appear to need one, although it's not working. So reading the directions can sometimes be a helpful thing. Alright, it turns out there was a lot more in there than originally it looked like. So it does have a USB cord supposedly to power it, and if you don't have a USB spot on your TV, it comes with a little USB adapter you can plug into your wall. And then for a place where you don't have enough room for the whole stick, it gives you this nice little connector so that you can flop it out in a different direction. And now that I'm going to need to have this plugged into the bottom of it, I probably will need to use this. Then it comes with some batteries for the remote, which again, I think I like the idea of having a remote. I'll have to see how handy it is. But what I can't do is seem to get it open. Even when I had two hands free, I wasn't really having good luck getting it open. So I'm going to go out and see if Simon will do that for me real quick, and then I'll put the batteries in and we'll hook this stuff up for you on camera. I will be right back. Okay, so remote battery entry went well. I just needed somebody without bare, fine, weak, brittle nails to help me with that. Now I'm going to do this piece. So let's head back over the TV. I could probably turn it off now. And I'm going to pull the stick back out and look for, there it is. Oh, and it goes in the side, not the bottom, so I might still be able to fit it in my TV. I don't have lots of surface options. I haven't made the kids clean this room in a long time. So I'm going to plug this in to the side here. And now that that's done, I'm going to stick this back up into the TV, and then I'm going to put the other end of the cord into the USB space on the TV, which many new TVs have that USB space, but definitely monitors have a space like that. At least the flat screen HDMI bearing monitors do. So I'm going to take my USB thing. That squeaking is the closet, so I don't have animals, in case you're wondering something strange is going on there. So there, now I've plugged that in there. So my Fire Stick should be getting power now. Spin this back around, and since I'm already on the right input, I should be able to just turn on the TV and go. Now I don't have the app installed on my phone. It probably would be a good idea if I had done that first, but I really just kind of rushed into this, and you'll be able to see what my results are here. The Fire Stick should kind of start getting set up. Yay! And I have the remote. I'm hoping that can help me, since my phone is not even in this room, but we'll see what happens. It looks like it's kind of loading its thing. So it keeps going back and forth between the Fire TV Stick, Amazon, and No Signal. It's like it's cycling through some kind of information, trying to see what the correct thing is, but it doesn't seem to be working. I'm going to turn this off until I figure out what resolves this. Alright, so the instructions don't say anything about plugging the other end of the USB into the TV like the Chromecast one does. So I'm guessing it just takes more power, and this does seem like it just keeps flickering, like it gets power for a little while it's loading up, and then it does something so intense the power can't handle it anymore, and it goes down to no signal. I'm going to turn the TV off. I'm going to use this. Unfortunately, I don't have any free outlets by the TV anywhere, so I'm going to figure out how to get this situation going, and once I have the USB plugged into here and this plugged into the wall, I'll turn it back on and show you from there. Alright, so now I have a fun combination of cords and extension cords and all sorts of fun things happening in my kids' playroom, which I don't necessarily love, but you know, the things we do for entertainment. Here we go. We're going to try it now, get it all started up. I'm going to reach back and grab that remote again. And it's searching for the remote, which does have batteries in it. It says press play to start, and it's looking for my network. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it to this one. I'm not going to show you this part. Okay, got the password entered, clicked play, and now it's connecting to my network. Connection successful. Yay! Checking for updates. Still checking for updates. Okay. So apparently it was pre-registered, and all I had to do is click yes, it's me. Now here's a fun little animation they provided to kind of explain the whole setup process and how to use it. It was nice, but it was a little too much to show in this video, so I am just going to fast forward through it really, really fast for you and give you a gist, but if you want to see it, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. Ooh, good. Parental controls. I feel like it's worth mentioning that with them on, I have to enter my passcode every time they try to watch anything, and with them off, they can watch even the R-rated and worse things that I have in my queue. This is very important because my boys are bound to try and purchase things on here, and I don't want to end up with hundreds of dollars of SpongeBob. It does feel really slow. So far, anytime it's gone into one of these screens where it's updating or loading or enabling. It just takes forever. And based on the ticker on my camcorder, forever means about a minute. A minute's a long time when you're standing here videotaping. 2 minutes. And for this generation, 2 minutes is an eternity. Like, if this were my computer, I would probably have thought it froze and needed to be restarted. It doesn't seem like enabling parenting controls would be something that takes this long of a time period. It also doesn't let me know what my wireless connection is, so if I've got a weak connection on the network that I chose, I don't see that anywhere. We're now at 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off and bring it back up once this goes through. Okay, went out, grabbed a snack, did a few things, came back, and we're still on the enabling parental control screen. This is pretty darn near 10 minutes now. If not more. And I'm concerned because there's a little blue square that says invalid format, and that's coming from my monitor. So I don't know if maybe I froze and something happened. The invalid format thing has been there for a while. I'm fiddling with a few buttons on the remote and nothing's happening. Ooh, hey. I'm going to try that again. All right. Just so you know, what I did was I hit the back button. It took me back. I went to enable parental controls again, re-entered the password, and it went through pretty much instantly. So what I'm thinking happened is I must have had a typo in my password when I was using the remote to enter it in, and rather than handle it gracefully, it just kind of failed miserably. So now I'm at my home screen, and it looks like I can browse through and just use this in whatever way I normally would. Now I think it's time to do a little bit of a comparison between the Fire Stick and the Chromecast. Pros and cons of the Fire TV Stick over Chromecast. So the pros of Fire TV Stick are, it comes with a remote, especially in terms of my kids who do not have their own phone to use to operate this. That's definitely a plus. The Fire TV Stick was on sale when I bought it for $19.99 as opposed to the Chromecast's $35 price tag. Now, that actually flips over to a con because it is now $39.99 and the Chromecast is still at $35. It does look like the Fire Stick does more. There are games, all sorts of things for it. But Chromecast is open source. It's in development. So they could quite likely have many of those things developed in the future as well. Fire TV Stick is by Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime and things like that, this is already ready to go with your account. That's definitely nice. Some of the cons, this definitely seemed harder to set up than the Chromecast. That went in pretty much instantly. Also, the Chromecast works off of less power, so you can plug it into your TV's USB, so you don't have to try and find a place to plug it in near the TV where there's already usually so many accessories and it's really hard to find an outlet. And one more con of the Fire TV Stick is it seems to be slow, at least slower than Chromecast was. So I haven't really had any issues with my Chromecast taking forever to set anything up, and it gives you some great pictures that flash by while it does so that you know things are still moving. And when this thing failed, it didn't let me know that it was struggling with anything I had done wrong that I could go back and fix. Chromecast tends to fail relatively gracefully. So I do like Amazon. I love Amazon as a service. I love other Amazon products. I am glad that I bought the Fire Stick. I think that it's going to be perfect in this room. But for my other rooms, I'm kind of happy with my Chromecast. And if I have to compare them, I would probably tell someone, if you don't need the remote, go Chromecast. But all in all, I think they're both really worthy items. And I recommend you playing with them for yourself and seeing which one you like better. At less than $50, it's definitely a good way to add streaming to an older device. I hope you enjoyed my unboxing. Happy ITing. Please like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this. If you want a sneak peek of what's coming up next, you can follow me on these social networking sites.